This is Dan. This will be take 439 of Dan trying out for the Active Atom channel. Hi, Lance and Patrick. Anyway, everything's come back out of the evaporust. We've given it a shot of fluid film, as I typically do, to keep it from flash rusting. And with pretty good regards, it cleaned it very nicely. Now, I didn't leave it overnight. I felt bad that I couldn't finish the other video because I lost all the video, so of the last part of it. But I want to go ahead and get started on the reassembly. But everything's been cleaned. Everything is laid out in order. I have a business plan and set up on how I'm going to do this. So with that, I'm going to get started with the main body here. And I don't have my jeweler's loop on, but I do have one. And we'll get started with the main body. And with this, your scroll is going to be facing down. Hopefully I install this correctly. And I'm not going to put any grease on this surface here because it is exposed. And I am going to give it a dab of the Magnalube G. Just around this center perimeter here. Just a little bit. Just a dab. Not much right there. Drop that back into place. Clink. Oh, that was really nice, actually. Okay. And then this part is going to set in there, and it is going to hold. Surfaces here. Go around the edges, and there's just a little bit of fluid film left over. Just putting a little bit of film on there. Nothing extravagant. I kind of like using the Q-tip thing. It allows me to put film down but not leave a big caking amount on there. That's all you really need. This thing isn't spinning at any high velocity or anything like that. Okay. Got that right there. Oh, hey, Dan, don't you have any more content other than chucks? I said, yeah, I do. But this was a nice, quick one that I want to put back in service because it was a really nice little chuck. Feels nice. Just there. Most of it off. Pocket. Okay. Remember Lagasse used to talk about smell-o-vision on his cooking show. You guys should be able to feel the vision on this one. It is really, really nice. Okay. I want to add just a little film in the teeth. Again, this is the sealed side. There's really not much that's going to get in here. Whatever they used the last time, like a lithium, I think, mixed with a version of sawdust, as I made in the comments, it was a goo. I don't use that word lightly. It was vile. I had to get it loose with a razor knife. That's how nasty it was. Rotate that around. Really nice. Again, I'm not putting much in here, just putting a coating down. And this stuff will adhere very well. And what's not covered in this is still covered in fluid film. The fluid film I shoot on there and then I wipe it off, and even with wiping it, there's almost, unless you use a degreaser, you're not going to get it completely off of there, which is perfectly fine with me. I don't care. I'd rather it not flash rust inside or outside, either one. feels great. Attention to my teardown video. There you go, Dan. Before you get too far. There you go, folks. As I say, warts and all, you're going to see it all. Unless I lose the video. Okay. A little bit better. There you go. That's got to be a lot better shot. You see it rotating there. Not much pressure involved. Let's do a test. Can't tell how strong my finger is, but you can tell the Q-tip is moving it just fine. Okay, so now we have this set up. And you can probably notice in here, there was many references to 21. So I think we're going to have to call this a model 21. Far away here. This will be another quick video, but I was feeling bad that I didn't get it all in the first video. Chronic lost video issue. I think every YouTube creator has had that issue at one time or another. Okay. What it's doing right now is it's giving me a little bit of heartburn about setting down flush. Lightest of pressure. Everything seems to be in order. Everything appears to be in order here. torque down evenly. See if that will bother her. Make things better. I don't want to go smacking around on her or anything outrageous. The infamous screwdriver. Everybody's got one, right? This side over here is just a little bit high. Screwdriver is just a smidge wide. I think I'm going to learn something here. Something very clever, very ancient here shortly. There's a slight trick to this one. I don't think this is going to be our final assembly. Definitely not happy. Okay. Warts and all, folks. Warts and all. Got like a 1 in 3 chance of getting this line straight. And I bet you there's an indication that I should have marked it more all the way down. So slightly. So I'm thinking there's a 1 in 3 chance of getting this lined perfectly. And that alignment that I just did wasn't it. See, I'm having a problem with that clearance. It's a lead hammer. I'm not afraid to use it. There we believe the old wise ones probably left that for idiots like me to find. But maybe, if we were paying attention, we would understand. I'm going to say Ancient Wisdom 1, Idiot Man-Child 0. That fit perfectly. Word to the wise, line up the numbers. They might mean something. So, feels great. Continuing on. Pay no attention to the last 5 minutes. But I learn more from my mistakes as long as they're small. It's the really harsh ones that really hurt. They didn't cost us anything other than our self-esteem amongst the friends of the YouTube community. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, you ancient fathers. You drilled it off. Yeah, the one screw or two screws I was having before, they were having trouble lining it up. They drilled it in situ, so I don't think there was any perfect alignment there. It was drilled. Likely they were making many of these, and the fixture may have been slightly left or right, but it had a perfect fit one way, and we just found it. Line up the two numbers. Awesome. Ancient wisdom is always the best. But as I mentioned earlier, this thing is so well built. Torn apart some of the newer ones, especially ones from China. No comparison. If you remember what it was like before, it was much more of an enduring battle. Okay, we're going to go ahead and line this up. Recovering from the last one. good. Before, you remember, we couldn't crank it at all. It was just a hot mess. Feels good. These jaws are non-reversible. You can see now that's a Cushman chuck. It's kind of cleaned up. Now, what do we do about this? If we remember, we got it lined up. It was not in the countersunk screws. It used these old school straight blade screws. And when you put it on the lathe is when you'll actually find out how true it's running. We talk about it here on the bench, but it doesn't mean much. And like I said, we will be replacing these with probably some Allen head socket screws, just because, yeah, that screw's even got a little bend to it. Who knows where it's been. Okay, and again, once you put it on the lathe, you'll find out how straight it is, and you may have to break these loose and rotate them to find out your best. There's what my boss would say. It's your best of a worthless decisions. So, there it is, functioning, clean, ready for service. 3-inch Cushman chuck, cleaned, put back in service, and yes, I have a gigantic Q-tip here if needed. So, with that, thank you for your time. Thank you for my subscribers. If you're interested in this content, please think about subscribing. I get no money from this. I do it because I enjoy it, and it's a great community to be involved with. Lots of friendly folks. I enjoy it. So, it's Dan Dobbs from the House of Broken Dobbs Things with a now repaired Cushman chuck, ready for service. And again, this fits the Little Craftsman 101, and it fits the Atlas 618, I believe, 6-inch. They were both built by Atlas Company out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is just on the other side of Michigan from me here, and it's a pretty interesting bit of history. Atlas also bought Clausing at one juncture, or not. Then they started using the Clausing name. So they're out there and been out there for a very long time, and they made a lot of small shop equipment, and lots of it is highly coveted. The little Atlas shapers, things like that, they're all highly coveted in the home shop folks. All right, this is Dan. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it, and have a good night.